we discussed about the food and its components. What do food provide us? And what are the different nutrients which are obtained from the food? So, and also we discussed about the taste for different food items, especially for fats and also for starch, and also for fats. These are the two activities we have discussed in our earlier class. Today, let's discuss for the test of proteins, what we should do. Let's observe that. Here, first we should prepare 2% copper sulfate solution, 2% copper sulfate solution, and also 10% sodium hydroxide, 10% sodium hydroxide. Let's observe how to prepare this 2% solution of copper sulfate and 10% solution of sodium hydroxide, 10% solution of sodium hydroxide. Let's see this. Here, first of all, copper sulfate, copper sulfate, COPPER, copper sulfate. What is the formula for this? Formula for this is CuSO4, molecular formula. For sodium hydroxide, HYDROXIDE, sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Before going into this, I want to give a basic knowledge regarding this. Let's observe this. Here, copper, Cu, the symbol for copper is Cu, and this is S is for sulfur, and O is for oxygen, a combination of these three elements, copper, sulfur and oxygen. So, one atom of copper reacts with one atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen, It gives you a formula for copper sulfate. It is the formula for copper sulfate, CuSO4. First of all, this Cu, that is copper, it is an element, ELEMENT, it is an element. How many different elements are combined here? 3 different type of elements are combined. Which are the 3 different elements? Copper is one element, sulfur is the other element, and next one is oxygen. And the number which is present here, this number, that is subscript. This number, it gives information about number of atoms. How many atoms of oxygen are there? 4 atoms of oxygen are there. How many atoms of sulfur? Only 1. Here no number is present, which means 1 atom of sulfur is present. At the same time, copper, how many atoms are present? Only 1. So for 1, need not to show with number. If no number, which means 1 atom is present. And also, when you write a symbol, first letter, it is always should be with capital. First letter is always a capital. Make sure the first letter you write, that should be the capital one, capital letter. Example for copper, Cu, this C should be the capital letter. When you write a symbol for a element, if 2 letters are there, so first letter should be the capital and the second letter should be the small letter. Sodium, for sodium, Na, is the symbol. This is sodium, 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 Na is the symbol. Actually, so this is taken from Latin. In sodium in Latin we call it as natrium, natrium. Sodium In Latin we call it as natrium, Natrium. So only the first two letters are taken as symbol. First two letters are taken as symbol. Na is the symbol for sodium. Okay, first letter, okay, is capital. First letter is capital and the second letter is small. Observe that carefully, please. Here first letter is small, capital, and the second letter is small. And if only one letter you take as a symbol, okay, which means here that should be the capital letter. Okay, example like hydrogen, Hydrogen, hydrogen. Symbol for this is H. Okay, H, this is the first letter from this name. From this name, H is the first letter. It is capital. Observe that it is the capital letter. If at all, if you take two letters, the first letter should be the capital letter and the second letter should be the small. If only one letter is there, means that letter will be the capital letter. Example for hydrogen, so H. Okay, and the next one, that is lithium, Lithium, lithium. Okay, so its symbol is Li. If you observe this, okay, first letter is capital. How many letters were taken? Two letters were taken as symbol. Okay, first letter is capital and the second letter is small. Note that when you are writing a symbol for element, first letter is always capital and the second letter is small. Example for this, lithium, L is taken as the first letter, it is capital, and the second one is I, it is small. Now, okay, copper sulfate, its formula is CuSO4 and sodium hydroxide NaOH. Na is one element, oxygen is the other element, hydrogen is the other element. Totally we are having three elements present in this formula, sodium hydroxide. We can say this as a base. Okay, it is a base. NaOH is a base. Okay, it is said to be a base. How can you say it is a base? Without testing, without finding, without using litmus paper or indicator. Without using an indicator, how can you say this NaOH a base? Yes, that is true. We can say it is a base because it consists of a group, that is OH, hydroxyl group is present, OH is present. So we can say it is a base, sodium hydroxide. It is basic in nature. Its nature is basic. It converts red litmus paper into blue color. It changes color red to blue. Litmus paper, red litmus paper, it changes color from red to blue. It confirms its nature, that is, it is basic in nature. Okay, so do you all know different elements are present? Okay, we are having different number of elements. Okay, you should know at least 20 to 30 elements. At least 20 elements you should know, like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Okay, and so on like that. Please try to learn at least 20 elements with symbols. Okay, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, okay, and so on will be. Please at least learn 20 elements. Okay, so here let's see how to prepare 2% solution of copper sulfate and 10% solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, for preparation of 2% of copper sulfate solution, we should take 2 gram of, first take 2 gram of copper sulfate, 2 gram of copper sulfate, and this to be added. Okay, add this 2 gram of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water, H2O water, H2O water. First, for this what you are taking? So first let's take a test tube. This is the test tube I have taken. This is the test tube. What do you call this as? Test tube. And into this test tube what you have added? 2 gram of, okay, 2 gram of CuSO4 is added. CuSO4, copper sulfate is added. And to this you are adding 100 ml of water. 100 ml of water is added. 100 ml of water is added. So now mix it with the help of a stirrer. Using a stirrer. This is a stirrer, a glass rod. A glass rod. Glass rod. GLASSROD. Glass rod is used. Okay, this is used as a stirrer for stirring purpose, for mixing purpose. So here 2 gram of copper sulfate is present and also water is present. So you are mixing this thoroughly and it forms a solution. It forms a solution. Which type of solution is formed here? Copper sulfate solution is formed. Which type of solution is formed? Copper sulfates. Okay, COPPER, copper sulfate. Sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution is formed. Okay, what is this? Copper sulfate solution is now ready. Now take the other test tube. This is the other test tube I am taking. Okay, this is the other test tube, and this take 10 gram of NaOH, 10 gram NaOH, sodium hydroxide, and add 100 ml of water, milliliter of water is added. Now using a stirrer again, mix it thoroughly. Okay, stir it thoroughly, and we get a solution. Which solution is formed here? Sodium hydroxide solution is formed. Sodium hydroxide. Okay, SODIUM. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed. Clear for you? So we are having 2 different type of solutions. What are the 2 different type of solutions? One is copper sulfate solution and the next one is sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, what is its percentage? 2% of copper sulfate solution this is. Okay, why do we say this is 2%? Because we used only 2 gram. 2 gram of chemical is used, 2 gram of copper sulfate is used. So we say this as a, okay, 2% of copper sulfate solution. Whereas here, okay, this is in test tube B. Let's label this as B and label this as A. Okay, test tube A and test tube B. In test tube A, which solution is present? Copper sulfate solution is present. In test tube B, which solution is present? 10%. Okay, sodium hydroxide solution is present. 10% sodium hydroxide solution is present. Now, okay, place this aside. Let's go for the test. To test, okay, which one you are testing? This is to test for proteins. This is to test proteins. Test for proteins. This is third test. Previously we completed 2 tests. One is starch and the other one is fats, to find fats. And this third one, this test for proteins. This is the third one. Okay, test for proteins. Now, if at all the substance or the material, if it is in solid form, whichever you want to find, whichever you want to test, if that substance or if that material is in solid form, crush it into a powdery form or make into a paste form, turn into a paste form, either in powdery form or in a paste form. Convert that into a paste or into a powder form. Now First, okay, take the other test tube. This is the other test tube I have taken. Test tube C. Test tube C, this is. And this first, what are the sample you want to find for proteins? What are the sample you want to find for proteins? Okay, take that crush of it. Okay, this proteins which is made into a powdery substance. Okay, this is the powdery substance that you have made. Okay, this is the one. Okay, and it is added into the test tube. It is added into the test tube. Make this as solution. Okay, convert into the solution. Add some water to this. Add some water to this. Okay, now, okay, 10 drops of this sample is present. 10 drops of sample is present inside, and to this 10 drops of sample add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution. 2 drops of copper sulfate solution is to be added, and again 10 drops of NaOH is also added. NaOH is also added. In this test tube, what is present here? 10 drops of, okay, the sample that you have taken, that which you want to find for proteins, which you want to find for proteins. So that solution, how many drops you have taken? You have taken 10 drops of solution. 10 drops of what? 10 drops of sample. 10 drops of sample. And again to this 10 drops of sample, you are adding 2 drops of copper sulfate solution into this. And again in this, okay, you are adding one more, that is 10 drops of NaOH, sodium hydroxide is added. Sodium hydroxide is added. So what do you observe after some time? We observe that there is a change in color. There is a change in color. It changes color to violet or purple. It changes color to violet or purple. If it changes its color to violet or purple, we can confirm the food sample that you have taken, it consists of proteins. It contains proteins. If it do not change its color, so it don't contain proteins. It don't contain proteins. Remember that if it changes its color from color to violet or purple, we can confirm this food sample, it contains proteins. If it do not changes, which means it do not contain proteins. I repeat this once again, so please understand this one. This is the third test for proteins. Okay, first, okay, for finding these proteins, okay, we need to prepare 2 type of solutions. One is copper sulfate solution and the other one is sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, this first you are taking 3 test tubes, test tube A, test tube B and test tube C. In test tube A, we prepare copper sulfate solution, 2% copper sulfate solution. For this, okay, what we should take 100 ml of water and also 2 gram of copper sulfate solution. Mix it thoroughly and we get our solution. Which type of solution this is? Copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution. Keep this separately. And this is the other test tube. And this, what you are taking? 10 gram of sodium hydroxide. To this you are adding 10 ml of water, 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water. Mix it thoroughly again. Mix it thoroughly again. So we get a solution. Which solution is that? 10% of sodium hydroxide solution. 10% of sodium hydroxide solution. Now, which are the sample you want to find for proteins, that to be crushed if it is in solid form. If it is in solid form. So convert into powder form or into a paste form. Okay, and make that as a solution. Take 10 drops of the sample. Take 10 drops of the sample into the test tube C. To this 10 drops of sample, you are adding 2 drops of copper sulfate solution, and also you will be adding 10 drops of NaOH. 10 drops of NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So after some time, we notice that there is a change in color. Okay, if it contains, if the food product that you have taken as a sample, if it contains proteins, it changes its color to violet or purple. So we can confirm that if it changes its color, we can confirm that it contains proteins. Okay, move to the next one. Testing of food items. Testing of food items. So as we discussed, we are having different type of food items are present. That's like rice, chapati, dal, okay, biryani, okay, now potato, milk, eggs, fruits, vegetables. Like this, we are having different or variety of food items. Variety of food items. So we cannot say all these food items contain same type of nutrients. Different or variety of food items, they contains or they possess variety of nutrients. What I mean to say here is, different food items, they contains different nutrients in them. All the food items do not contain same type of nutrients. They do not contain same type of nutrients. Okay, for this you should go for this test. Okay, we discussed already 3 different type of tests are there. One is for starch and the other one is for fats and the next one is for proteins. We already discussed about all this tests. Okay, so try to find out at home, okay, which food is having carbohydrates, or which food contains proteins and which food contains fats. Okay, try to follow this at home. How much you can able to do, okay, do that much as your homework. First, what is for? This is for finding the different nutrients which are present in the food material. Okay, serial number. And next, food, the food that you take, the sample that you take. And next, starch, fat and proteins. Present, absent, present, absent. Here also present, absent. First one, rice. Second, potato. Next, third, groundnut. Fourth, egg. Okay, make a tabular form like this. We already discussed different tests for different nutrients. Nutrients like carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So here a few variety of food materials are present. List out those. First one is rice, second one is potato, next one is groundnut and the other one is egg. What you should do means, here you should find, okay, you should go for a test, starch test, okay, fat and also for proteins, okay, we already completed this activity. So fine, okay, taking a small quantity of rice, find out whether that, okay, rice contains starch or not. If it contains starch, so write present here. Okay, if it contains starch, write present. If it do not contain starch, so write absent. Okay, go for the next one, that is fat. Okay, here go for the fat test for rice. If rice contains fat, write present. If rice do not contain fat, write absent. And next, for the third one, that is protein test. Okay, if rice contains proteins, write present here. If the rice do not contain proteins, write absent. Right, absent. Okay, and the same for this also. Okay, potato, groundnut and eggs also. For potato, okay, go for the carbohydrates are starch test. Carbohydrates are starch test. If this contains protein, starch or carbohydrates, write present, and if it do not contain, write absent. At the same time, go for the fat test and protein test also for fat. For potatoes. Okay, so if potato contains fat, write present. If potato do not contain fat, means write absent. Okay, and the third test, proteins. The potato contains proteins, write present. If the potato do not contains proteins, write absent. And that you should follow for the remaining two also, that is groundnut and egg also. If you want to do for other food items, you can do that also. Yes, what I want to say here is, we already completed different type of tests for different food materials. Test for starch, test for fat, test for proteins, test for proteins. So take variety of food materials which are available for you, and make a tabular form like this. Make a tabular form. So what are the foods you have taken? List out those here. Find out which contains starch, which contains fat, which contains proteins. The food which contains starch, okay, write here for them, okay, write here present. If that food do not contain starch, write absent. Okay, same for the remaining also. So we are having some questions related to this. What is that is, which food shows the presence of starch? Out of all this food materials, which food shows presence of starch? So which of the food materials contains starch or carbohydrates needs to be listed. And next, what nutrients are present in milk? What are the nutrients present in milk? Can you find out? Let's see. And few more are there. That's like roughage and water. Even they are also very important for us. Even they are also very important for us in our digestive system, especially. So we will discuss that roughage, water, and balanced diet and unbalanced diet. We will discuss the topics in our next session. Thank you.